Pine Creek first graders. Today we're going to learn how to do some math with lessons 5 through 8. So this is going to be a video that helps you with the worksheets that are right below here in the next slides. And you'll go ahead and click present when you go into here, and you'll be using Kami. So if you don't know how to use this, go back into math and figure out how to get in Kami. The first time you get into Kami is really hard. And then after that, it's not such a big deal. It gets better. But the first time you're kind of setting Kami up, and then it's like an overlay that makes all worksheets electronic, and you can fill them out that way. If in your house you do not like electronic stuff and you prefer paper, you can also just print these slides out and do them as a worksheet. So you need to do what's good for your family. So here we go. The first lesson here is this one right here. And it says, how many shapes were used to make this large square? So I'm going to make it a little bigger so it's a little easier to see. Maybe put it up to 100%. So when you look at this shape, how many shapes were used to make this large square? So we've learned three-sided shapes like this are called triangles. So they want to know how many shapes are in the large square. And so you're going to see that you have a triangle here and one here. You're going to see there's a little bitty triangle here. You're going to see there's a little bitty triangle here. You're going to see another little bitty over here. The other shape that we have here is a rhombus. Do you see that rhombus right there? Here it is again right here. So you have quite a few shapes. You're going to count all those shapes, the triangles and the rhombuses, and you are going to use your editing software with Kami, and you're going to either draw. So Kami has on the side, we'll have something where you can either use the pencil and write the answer. I'm not going to write the exact answer. I'm pretending to write. Or you can also go ahead and type it in with Kami. So those are your choices. So they just want you to count how many shapes. So we're going to go ahead and go down here. And here it's asking, what are the three, whoa, it's going fast, types of shapes used to make the large square? Okay. So I can already tell that this is a little skewed. That is supposed to be a square right there. So I'm going to have to fix that. But when you go back in, hopefully you'll be able to see it the right way. So there's a square here. You have a triangle, a triangle, a triangle, a triangle, a triangle. And then you have, this is in fact a rhombus. This got skewed and squished in, so it made this other one look like a rhombus. So I will fix that. But this one should also be a rhombus. So then you'll say, what are the three kinds of shapes? For lesson 6. So this is probably you're doing it on Tuesday, lesson 5 on Monday, lesson 6 on Tuesday. You're going to go to your house or wherever you're living, your apartment, your flat, wherever you're at, and you are going to see if you can find things in your house that are some of these things here. Some cubes. Remember cubes? Rectangular prisms. Remember, it is named by its main base shape. So you have this base here, a rectangle, and then it's made as a prism. Technically, a cube is a square prism, but we have a special name for it called a cube. We have a cylinder that's a lot like a can of soup. We have spheres that are balls. So spheres are three-dimensional circles. You have to have three sides. Height, width, and length. And so those three dimensions make up your sphere, like a tennis ball, a basketball, a soccer ball, and then you have a cone, like ice cream cone. So what they want you to do in this one is ask someone, go ahead and find a bunch of these shapes around your house. Now, in the classroom, we have these block sets, and you get to do these with a partner, but of course at home you're not going to. So you're going to kind of have to think out of the box. Can you find some of these shapes here? And then at home, make some kind of cool structure. Maybe it's a gate, or maybe it's a garden. Hey, you can even use your Legos because it's full of a bunch of these shapes. Make something really cool. Then at the bottom of Tuesday's math, they want you to, it's going fast, ask someone to take a picture of your structure. If you're unable to take a structure, let's say you don't have a camera at home that's digital that can send these, you can sketch it on a piece of paper, write it down, a way to build it. So this one doesn't really have a way to turn anything in. And then your next one here, here's your next one you'll be working on. The next thing we're working on is equal parts. I want you to think about fair sharing. Look at these problems here. Is this fair? If one of you got this bottom piece and one of you got the top piece, you and a friend, would it be fair? Do you both get the same amount? Yes. So you notice here this person said yes. Now, how many equal size parts? Because fairing is about things being equal. This is getting you ready for fractions and understanding how the clocks work later on. So when we start time. So I want you to really look at these and think, are they fair? Yes. And how many fair size pieces are there? Well, there's two. Now I'm going to look at this one next. Is this fair? So if I was this person right here, person A, and my friend Bonnie was person B, is what Bonnie's getting, is it fair? No, Bonnie gets this little tiny amount and I get a whole bunch. So I would say, no, it's not fair. But if the shape has equal parts, they're not equal, write how many parts on the line. So am I going to write 2 here? No, because no, it's not fair and they're not equal. All right? So that's what you're doing with this worksheet. First, are they divided into equal parts? So look again here. A here and B. Are these equal size parts? I think one person's getting a lot more than the other. That does not seem fair to me. So I would write N for no again. So it gives you the idea of how we do that. And then our very last lesson for today, for this week, will be this one here. So you can kind of see what we were just doing sets you up for the last day of the week lesson. Now it's calling them halves. Okay, so halves. The numerator in math is the top number, numerator north. You don't really need to know that for first grade, but it's kind of fun to learn. And denominator down. So I'm going to write N for numerator, that's the top number, and D for denominator, that's the bottom number. Numerator, denominator. So the numerator up here, this tells you how many parts you are going to shade in or talk about. The denominator tells you how many equal size parts there are. Now, this is really important. They have to be equal size parts. So, are these shapes divided into halves? So, they're asking, halves look like this for a fraction. 1/2. That's a half written as a fraction. So, are there 2 equal size parts here? Is this a fair share? Yes or no? There's 2 parts, but are they equal? No. So you can write N for no here. You're going to look at this next one. Are these equal size parts? Oh, they are not equal. There's 2, but they're not equal. And then looking at these, are these equal? Is it fair if we both got one of these 2 parts? Yes. So yes, you would write they're equal. So they're trying to trick you, especially when you start to get down here a little further. They are really trying to trick you when you get further down. They've turned this one to the side, and they're trying to see if we turn it to the side, can this kid see if they're equal size parts or not? And then this one, when they drove through the middle like this, can they see that they're equal size parts? So in your head, it's almost like you have to turn these parts around so you can see what's going on. Now, the next part that they're talking about, they're calling these quarters. Okay? So quarters look like this. 1 out of 4. So a super fancy name for 1/4 is called quarters. And so on this one, are there 4 equal sized parts? Yes. Does every one of these 4 kids get the same amount of the pizza? Yes. So what you would say, are these shapes divided into quarters? Yes. Now, when you look over here, again, they're trying to trick you. I'm going to move Miss Nelson out of the way for a minute. Here you see 3 parts. You don't see 4, right? So, and they're not equal. So you got to be careful. Here you see 4 parts and you have to think, are they equal? I want you to really think as you do these and just do your best, okay? All right, guys, have a great week, and your first grade teachers miss you.